What's going on, guys? LordKing here, back with another Dragonball Super episode review. So without further ado, let's go straight into it. Episode 84, well, we didn't really expect to see what we did, to be honest. I was actually a little bit surprised and kind of actually impressed with the episode. It was a pretty sort of good one. From the preview from last week, I didn't expect it to be what it was, but it did actually impress me quite a lot. So it starts off with Gohan and Goku going to Krillin, telling him about the tournament and 18. They're trying to recruit 18 and Krillin. Krillin's obviously a little bit more up for it than 18, because 18 has the whole family sort of thing. The same as Krillin, but she's a little more intact with the kid. But then Goku kind of lies to her and says that they're going to win 10 million zeni each if she competes. So this obviously entices her in, but she suspects something's not completely right. So Gohan's still a little bit suspective, again, so I used suspective of Krillin's power. As we saw in the previous episode, he wasn't actually too sure of what he could do, so he wanted to test it and have a bit of a spar with him. They go to a mountaintop where the conditions will be similar to the tournament. The person who gets knocked off loses, and Gohan had pretty much underestimated him a little bit, where Gohan initially he knocks Krillin back pretty hard, but then showing his true sort of power, is a lot more powerful. Then Krillin kind of rises up into the sky and uses his solar flare technique, and then he uses his what I assume is the new technique, is his developed solar flare, where he did solar flare times 100, and it also seemed to mask Krillin's ki as well. So Gohan, one, he couldn't see him, but he also couldn't sense him. So Krillin then pretty much just comes up to Gohan when he couldn't see him, knocks him out, making him pretty much touch the water, but Gohan was actually knocked out. Gohan then had this almost very respectful sort of moment where he was a bit dishonoured the fact that he underestimated Krillin so much. I think he felt he was a little bit rude to Krillin, so he was very respectful then. But what I recognised with Krillin was he brought a very smart sort of tactical vibe to the Z fighters. It's almost like a younger Master Roshi, obviously originally trained by him. It was like a younger Master Roshi, where he was incredibly smart and tactical with what he used, and that's going to be exactly what they need in the tournament, I think. So it then moves on to Goku pretty much wanting to have a go in a test as well himself. It goes up to Hercule's, Mr. Satan's building, and then Goku and Krillin pretty much go at it, well, about to go at it. Before this happens, Android 18 is incredibly worried about Krillin, because she thinks Goku is far too powerful and Krillin would not be able to handle it. But then it's had quite a cool sort of nostalgic moment. Krillin was actually pretty calm, and then there was a nice sort of flashback to it was a reanimated Dragon Ball scene where they touched their fists, and it looked really good. It was a good flashback of the olden days, and it was done well. They then had a really good, what I thought was probably the best part of the episode, where they had an incredibly good fight. It started out with Krillin throwing his Destructo discs out, and then using the discs almost as a decoy, and then throwing his other ki blasts out. And then when Goku was distracted by these ki blasts, the decoy discs came back, and one of them I think actually cut Goku, which was pretty cool, showing Goku was actually touched by Krillin, I guess. It was pretty much he outsmarted him a little bit. This is obviously Goku in base form. Goku then decides to go to the Super Saiyan, and then he goes to Super Saiyan Blue as well, and everyone is pretty shocked, including Krillin. He kind of says that he saw the Super Saiyan Blue before, but he's never actually stood in its presence and felt how much power it actually has. So Krillin was a little bit thrown back as such. They both kind of do their Kamehamehas, and Krillin kind of handles it for the first few seconds, pushing it back a little bit. And then I think Goku decides to make it a little bit more serious. The only problem that I found here was Krillin, we all know the power scaling in Dragon Ball Super is a bit of a redundant sort of aspect now, where I couldn't imagine Krillin ever managing to keep up with the Super Saiyan Blue Goku, even if Goku was going 10% of his full potential. The Super Saiyan Blue is still a tier above what Krillin's ever seen before in his life, so it's quite weird that he's managed to actually compete with it. It was a cool moment, but a little bit unrealistic, I thought, but it was very nice to see. So then we have quite a cool bit where 18 kind of comes in and kicks. I think she kicked Goku, and Ki Blast sort of went away. And there was a very nice sort of solidifying their marriage moment, where they were discussing, saying they're 2v1, they're pretty much a team. So they said, let's 2v1 Goku, and this is what the fight would actually be like in the tournament. Krillin said, you can get Gohan if you want and have a 2v2 with us. And at this point, I was pretty pumped, to be honest. So I thought this was going to happen. I saw there was maybe 6 minutes left in the episode. I thought this was going to happen. But then Goku calls it off, and he says that he has actually a lot to learn from Krillin, and so does Gohan, because the way he's handled the fight and his approach to the build up to the fight has been much better than what Goku thought he should do, where he's been a lot more tactical and it's not just a power based tournament. He's showing a lot of heart. So it was quite nice. I think Goku learned a few things from it as well. Moving on to the next sort of bit, this is all towards the end of the episode. I'll pretty much done a relatively quick summary of the episode, but it was not too much actually did happen in terms of things to detail. It turned into Goku. He asked about Android 17. 18 says he works as a park ranger, as we saw at the end of Dragon Ball Z. He works as a park ranger, and I'm assuming in the next few episodes he's going to go find him. Well, if you've seen spoilers, you'll know where they'll go find him in the next few episodes. So then moving into the outro. The outro I thought was very weird, to be honest. I'm not 100% sure if I liked it. It was quite... What's the words I'm looking for? It was a techno sort of song, but I don't think it fit Dragon Ball, sort of Super Dragon Ball Z, the vibes. I don't think it fit that Dragon Ball Z and the fighting sort of thing. It was quite a cool song, but I don't think it fit that well. But it may grow on me, to be honest. Moving into the next time. Now, this is probably the most interesting part of the whole... Maybe the most interesting, not most exciting, but the most interesting part of the whole episode. Again, if you've seen the spoilers for that people like Geekdom and stuff put up, and obviously all of them, they put up these spoilers, you'll know about them. But for those who haven't, and even just to see it actually in picture, it was quite cool. So first thing we saw, Goku sparring with Boo, but it's not a regular Boo. It was a very slimmed down. It's where he's lost a hell of a lot of weight. So it was almost... It was the best way to describe it is if you want to picture it and you haven't seen it for some reason. It was Super Boo, but not Super Boo. It was when Majin Buu almost separated from the evil from the good, and he became that grey brown Boo, and then there was the other Boo that was left, the gum sort of thing. It was a similar sort of stature to that greyish sort of Boo, but he had the Majin Buu sort of face and the pink look. It was really cool, and I'm kind of excited for next week to see kind of how that progresses, how much more powerful he becomes. It was also very cool to see that he actually lost all this weight, because well, no one really had any idea that he could do that without actually fully transforming. So it was quite cool. I hope this isn't permanent, personally, in my opinion, because I do enjoy the fat Boo and the food eating, all that sort of stuff. So I'm hoping it's maybe just a tournament thing. He's shredded down for the tournament, and maybe he's going to bulk up again after the tournament's done. So it then moves into quite a cool sort of thing, which shows the other gods and Kais all having this meeting, like an individual one for the Kais, an individual one for the gods, and I think they're all trying to deliberate a little bit on what to do. It shows Champa trying to talk to Kaba, maybe trying to recruit him again. I'm not too sure. Maybe spying on him. I'm not too sure exactly what he's doing. And again, possibly if you have seen spoilers, you will see. I won't go into it too much for those who haven't. The Kais and the gods are arranging a talk. Like I said, the meetings. They're arranging a meeting for something to do with Universe 7. So if you don't want to see spoilers, I won't mention it. But they're having a meeting to do for something to do with Universe 7. We then get to see a nice little snippet of Universe 11 and the Beerus-looking sort of Pride Trooper character we see there going to work a little bit and some of his moves. So maybe in the next episode we may actually find out what race he is from, and in fact if he is from the same sort of planet as Beerus and Champa, that'd be quite cool, because we never actually get a background on those two, so it'd be quite interesting to maybe find out a little bit more about those gods of destruction. We also see Toppo. We showed the Pride Troopers kind of doing what they do, their justice sort of thing. And then yeah, that was pretty much the end of those sort of universes. We then saw a very, very, very nice image of Piccolo doing his incredible... I'm pretty sure you guys are all aware of the very throwback sort of things, the pictures of Piccolo where he's sitting on the mountaintops, especially when he was training Kid Gohan when he was younger, training Kid Gohan, and on the mountaintops in his meditation sort of pose. There's a very cool picture of him doing that. It was quite throwback, and it's pretty much where Gohan is going to recruit Piccolo, so look out for that again in the future. I'm not sure, I'm hoping we maybe actually see something a little bit more interesting from Piccolo, possibly in the tournament. One, he brings that wiseness sort of thing, the Master Roshi intelligence sort of aspect to the fighting game. But then also he was one of the most powerful Z fighters, excluding, well, Goku, Vegeta and Gohan arguably, but he was one of the most powerful, so it would be very good to see how he's developed in the past, however long since the Universe 6 versus Universe 7. Then the final, pretty much final scene of the episode preview is actually shows Jiren doing a similar sort of meditation thing to Piccolo, but he's almost in just a blank room, and he's there just with this red aura around him, the same sort of aura that was around Toppo in the episode where him and Goku fought before he actually got to use it, the red aura. But it showed him with this meditating sort of, with this red aura, and it was just an eerie sort of feel. He just felt so powerful. So I am really looking forward to seeing Jiren fight, and I'm hoping next episode is actually going to be our first introduction to Jiren and what he's actually about. So that's going to be absolutely incredible. I'm very excited for episode 85. And that is basically everything, guys. Thank you as always. Please do like, share and subscribe. The sharing is obviously hugely important, and you've got me to 100 subscribers, so thank you so much for that already, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please tune in next time for more coming up. I'll be doing a lot more Xenoverse next week. As always, I've been LordKing. Thank you so much, guys. Till next time.